Good morning. Saturday, May 17th, 2025. It's 7:15 in the morning. And, I want to try to use up the rest of my oat milk here because it's getting a little bit past its use if best by. Is that what it says? Use by or best by? Okay. Well, it says on the package, something about use within best if used by date stamp, yeah, not to be used as infant formula, blah, 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 blah. And somewhere I know all this stuff says use it within like 7 to 10 days or something. I don't know. It's got so much printing on here. I'm having trouble finding where it says that. Anyhow, based on that prior knowledge, I was going to go ahead and just, make like an iced coffee thing. And then I thought, oh, wait a minute. I can make cold froth with this milk frother. So, but what I'm going to do is first I'm going to measure out the milk in this because I don't want to have too much, okay? So I'm just going to do like this, okay? This is like, I think, a 10 ounce, a 10 ounce cup. So that's what? Actually, I'm not using very much of this, am I? It's all right. I can pour more in afterwards if I want to. Okay, so I'm going to pour it in my milk frother. And by the way, these little spinner things on a lot of milk frothers are magnetic. Okay, so for example, after I wash it, I usually put it here. You can see that it wants to stick to it. So that can be a really good thing, to help you not lose it, on the side of your sink or something. But also, if it falls down on the floor, and let's say it slides under the fridge or the stove or the dishwasher, it'll stick itself to whatever, metal is under there, any steel that's under there. So you got to be careful. In any case, you don't want to drop this thing if you can possibly help it. Okay, well, let's do this. I'll go ahead and pour the milk in. Okay, I don't like it when things do that, when you pour out of them. And one of the lovely things about this is that when I pour it, it doesn't drip down the side. Okay, so we will go ahead, and this actually comes just a little bit above the maximum. There's two different levels you can fill it up to, and this is a little above the minimum. Anyway, I'm not going to bother to put the lid on. I'm just going to give it a long press. And, okay. There we go. Okay. Here, we'll take a little gander at this. So it's spinning it around, and it works because there's a magnetic thing down underneath the bottom of the part that holds the liquid, and it spins, and then it makes the magnetic spinner spin. It's kind of how they do things in the laboratory too, at least, well, back years ago when I used to work in a laboratory. In order to spin things, you didn't have to, like stick a little thing in there to spin it. You had a magnetic thingamabob that went around. So we can see, it's gotten a lot quieter. It is foaming up the milk, and the little blue light tells us it's cold instead of hot froth. Okay. So it's done. Now I'm going to go ahead. Should I pour this in here first or put the coffee? Yeah, I'm going to pour this in here. And then what I was going to do this morning is I was going to make, okay, let me unplug this and let me plug this one in. Alrighty, and slide it over here. All right, so here we go. I don't have the best arrangement for making videos in this apartment. I kind of, the phone is sitting on a stand in the little thing between the two kitchen sinks. So I have to be careful, you know, that I don't crash it down. Okay, so turn the machine. Push the little button in. Okay, now I've got Arpeggio here. Nespresso has been pushing this a lot lately. Don't really know why. It can be a ristretto or an espresso. I prefer it as an espresso because I don't want to have to reset my machine or stop it, you know, too soon to make a ristretto. The minimum amount on this machine is factory set as espresso, but you can reset it. Okay, so this has fruity and cocoa notes, although the overwhelming notes are cocoa. Okay, so, and I like that. This is just the regular Arpeggio. It's not the decaf. It's not the super Arpeggio. I forget what they call that, but I think the super one has like extra caffeine or something. Anyway, so here we go. Okay, the espresso button. And I'm going to make 2 capsules in here. So, okay, turn it around here. Okay, and now I'll put another capsule in. Okay. Okay, so here we have our lovely Arpeggio in some cold froth milk. And when I feel the cup here, it's hot, cold, cold. Coffee's going down to the bottom. All right, let's give it a stir. This is, again, one of my bird pattern cups. Oh, there's a right side up bird there, too. It's got it on both sides. Okay, so, and it's etched into the glass, which is kind of oh my goodness. Okay, when it fell, it turned off the sound, I think. So I don't know how long the sound has been off. Golly. But I was saying I didn't do that on purpose. It really was an accident. And I'm glad there was nothing with water in it in the sink. And okay. So, and this is one of my designs. It's etched on glass. It's all etching. It's a little hard to see here. But anyway, so All right. Yes, I was going to say, if my coffee had sat around, it wouldn't get to this cool a temperature, okay? It would just be, like room temperature coffee. This is cooler than that. And it's nice because it doesn't taste like, it doesn't feel like a cup of coffee that just sat out too long. It's nice like this. I like it. Oh, Blair and Kevin. Hey, so Kevin, I made 2 Arpeggio espressos in cold frothed Oat Planet oat milk. Oat Planet? Is that what I use? Planet Oat, excuse me. Okay. And I'm commenting that it's cooler than room temperature. It's kind of nice. I don't know, it's just really nice. Part of it, I feel like, has to do with the texture of the froth, or it's almost a foam. It's just really, really nice. When people talk about foam, this just occurs to me right now. You think about like the foam on the top of beer, okay? To me, that's a sort of a coarse kind of a foam, and I don't even drink beer, but the couple of times I've tried it. And then you also think of foam like shaving foam, which is more like like a heavy whipped cream. So is this foam? Is it froth? I don't know what to call it, but it's got small bubbles, and it's creamy on the tongue. So whatever that makes it, it really is lovely. Oh no, Kevin says you have to try the Chobani's sweet cream. 35 calories per what, Kevin? Per teaspoon, per tablespoon, per 2 tablespoons? Now, I do have here, let me get this, I'll just show you. I have got, all right. Oh, okay. I've used the Chobani oat milk, which I really like. I've got this Califia, I don't know how to say it, Farms coconut and almond milk blend, which is the next one I'm going to open up after I finish this Planet Oat stuff. Oh, and this has 3.5 grams of fat. So this has a lot more fat than this does. This has 40 calories per cup. This has 45 calories per cup. But this has 9 grams of carbohydrate, and this has only 2 grams, okay? So it's, by the way, 4 calories per gram of carbohydrate and 9 calories per gram of fat, okay? So I won't stand here and do the math for you, but that's how it works out. Okay, so Kevin says it's 35 calories per tablespoon in Chobani sweet cream. Now, is it called sweet cream or is it sweet cream, coffee creamer? Anyhow, I'll have to look for that in my fridge right now. Okay, so I have this open. I have got the Oatly Barista Edition open, and I have a carton of heavy cream open. So I'm not going to open another one just yet. Let me put these back in the fridge. Bear with me, because, the longer something is out, the less time it will stay good for eating, okay? No matter what kind of food it is. I don't know, except maybe pickles. Okay, so should I add any flavoring to this? No, this tastes so good the way it is. You know what they say, if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So, oh, and I love the show Everybody Loves Raymond. And I started watching it when I had children who were grown already. So you know, it was okay for them to see a show like that just because of some of the language and the subject matter. But it's funny because I never noticed the language or the subject matter until I was finally, my kids had all moved out and I was having grandkids, and I realized, oh my gosh, this is not appropriate for little children. But I had not noticed it before because my focus was not on little bitty ones. So, but and the reason I bring it up is, if you know the show, Frank Barone is Raymond's father, and he always, he thinks he's a Mr. Fix-It, but his daughter-in-law, Raymond's wife, Deborah, says to him one time, your father's always coming over here fixing things till they're broke. And, you know, so anyhow, this is not broken, and I'm not going to try to fix it because I may break it if I do. And, you know, I've done that before, adding things to coffee and ruining a perfectly good cup, or making a bad cup even worse. Okay, so by the way, my new iPhone that I got, well, my certified like new, because they won't give you a new one if it's after 30 days, and it was 2 months instead of 1 month. But anyway, it seems to be working well, and I'm gonna go ahead and send back the old one. Hopefully this one will, you know, keep working for the 3 years that the contract is, right? Okay, I'm gonna go. I like it not being hot and not being, you know, icy. It's very good like this. I'll just say one more thing about it. You know, if you're expecting something to be a certain temperature and it's not, then you're not going, it's likely you won't enjoy it. I didn't know what to expect, you know, what the temperature of this would be like. So I wasn't expecting. I knew it wasn't going to be hot. I knew it wasn't going to be icy. Turns out I like the way it came out. So, you know, if you think in terms of, you know, I don't know what this is going to be like, you may enjoy something more. Whereas if you're expecting a hot cup of coffee or something super cold and it's not that, you know, it kind of your expectations can prevent you from appreciating something. Well, anyhow, enough of my philosophy on, you know, temperature and mouth feels and what constitutes a froth or a foam. I hope you have a good day. Thanks so much for joining me.